are here. We are here. Welcome back to the Coaches Huddle. It's your boy, the coach, where the field meets family. And you know what time it is. It's Tuesday. Got my guy, ChunderBoi. It's the neutral zone, baby. How you doing today, ChunderBoi?
I'm doing great. It's week 7, and things are starting to sort of round into form, and we're starting to get an idea of what this team actually might be this year. It's fantastic.
Dude, I'm pumped. I'm giving up the topics already. Let's just go with the number one slot. I want to talk about the game, but before we talk about the game, there were a lot of things that got unearthed while the game was playing. Prior to the game, there was a report during the broadcast about Brock Purdy, and there was a lot said, basically. And if we look at exactly what was said, like in context, Purdy described the injury as annoying and unlike anything he's dealt with before because of how long it's lingered, and that he was truly day-to-day with no timeline for his return. I also remember comments being added that one slip-up could completely set him back. So that right there, added with the comments today, of head coach Kyle Shanahan saying that it would be a stretch to see Brock Purdy playing against the Houston Texans coming up in week 8. Where do we stand with this? I feel like a blind man touching an elephant, right? Like you don't have a scope of just how big this is, right? I feel like we're getting a slow drip, right? And as we're getting a slow drip, with all of the news, maybe we're starting to look at certain things about where we could see Brock Purdy inserted into the lineup. Is it fair to say that Brock Purdy may be, with what we're doing now, we're 5-2, we're looking good, okay? The defense is finding new ways and creative ways to find pressure. We're stepping up. Offense seems to are starting to find more. Guys are coming back. We'll talk about George Kittle. We're gonna make the playoffs, man. That's kind of like at this stage of the game.
Yep.
The expectations have to start shifting, even if you thought, hey, we're gonna be 10-7. That's what I had us at, 10-7. We'll see. It's going to be a crapshoot on whether or not we get into the playoffs or not. At 5-2, going into week 8, we've got some tough games ahead of us, right? The Colts have turned into something that's real for us, right? That's going to be a real game. We still got to see the Rams. We still got to see Seattle again. All right. The Bears seem to be turning into something. Don't look now, but the Giants have a heartbeat. Okay. So it's not just a cakewalk. All right. One thing that I did, we're going to bring that up. You know what? That's not a topic, but we will bring that up later.
I was just going to say, we might have to switch up the topics.
We might have to swing that up, but we'll bring it up later. But just to stay on topic, things are looking good, right? Things are looking good. And because of that, it's time to start shifting expectations on I have the freedom to change my opinion with new information. And the more information that I'm getting is that it's close to say we are a playoff team, right? Like we're getting there. So is Brock going to be ready? Would it be viable to hold Brock out for the playoffs?
I don't think definitely don't think you should hold him out for the playoffs. If you're going to hold him out for the playoffs, might as well just put him on IR and ride with Mac. Mm-hmm. If his toe's not going to let him come back before the playoffs. Because at that point, you're not going to put somebody in who hasn't played all year, especially as well as Mac has played. That would be that'd be dumb. Be so dumb. So I think that the thing that's being a little bit overlooked here maybe is that Mac is also injured. And I think the way this probably plays out is the fact is Mac's playing through injury.
Mm-hmm.
So with Mac playing through injury, we may get to a point next week or the week after where Brock is less injured than Mac. and he's got to go because Mac got banged up again, or Mac retweaked that knee or retweaked the oblique or whatever. So that actually may end up being the reason that Brock gets back in there. Throwing him out there against a defense like Houston, that's only allowing 12.2 points a game before this weekend season, but they haven't played a lot of high-powered offenses in that stretch where they're allowing 12.2. So I don't think it's right to throw Brock to the wolves against back-to-back teams with really good defenses when he hasn't played, unless he's 100% healthy. And it's by the reporting that he's not 100% healthy, and there really is no timeline for when he'll actually be full go.
Okay. Well, my thing right now is there a world where Brock wants to play, but the Niners are holding him out? Do you think this is mutual? Is there any tension? Or is this just kind of like, there's a plan? Hey, you're not ready. When we get past a certain threshold, this is the thing that's wild, is that turf toe is just, we're really a slave to the injury, right? Yep. Turf toe is like, it's so wild.
It's a very unique injury. It doesn't act like almost any other injury.
I've never had it. I've been around players that have had it, and it's one of those things where it's almost kind of like a broken rib. You just got to trust them when they say it hurts. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely correct.
You can't put a cast on it. But it hurts. I've had a fractured rib. It's like you can't laugh, you can't breathe, you can't walk, you can't blink, you can't do anything. So it definitely is a debilitating turf toe. I mean, it is definitely a debilitating injury. I'll just ask you this before we close out on this topic, because there's really not a lot of meat. There's not a lot of meat on the bone with this.
No, it just has to be addressed.
Yeah. Will Brock Purdy play again this season?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he'll probably come back against the Rams.
Okay. All right.
The thing about a turf toe, real quick before we move on, is that people don't realize how much your big toe is involved in literally just like standing still. Like, there's nothing that you do if you're on your feet at all, whether you're walking, standing, running, or anything, your big toe is involved. And so it can feel fine for 2 days in a row, and then you literally walk up some stairs and re-injure it. It's one of those kind of injuries. It's very weird.
Right. Look, wish him the best. We want Brock back. There's definitely tons of things that this offense is missing without him. So being able to have Brock back, we get mobility. That's one thing that I feel as though that is why we've had listen, the run game was a revelation Sunday night. A revelation. However, it did stand to reason. I don't think anybody's really said this, so we're going to say it here on the Coaches Huddle, and watch all these motherfuckers copy us. I'm just playing. So, but one thing that I haven't heard is that an element of the run game struggling in the first quarter of the season is due to the fact that we don't have a mobile quarterback. Okay? Like, being able to have the threat of Brock Purdy taking advantage of defenses who are loading up on our guys, sitting on routes, having Brock with the ability to break outside of the pocket and create plays off schedule. Even though Mac Jones brings things that we haven't seen in the offense before.
Correct.
Right? The byproduct of that is that because Mac Jones operates solely from the pocket majority, right? Mac Jones is not a statue. I don't want to play my man. We saw that scramble yesterday. We saw that scramble on Sunday.
Got it done.
He got out there. Okay. I don't want to play my guy.
To a race.
Yeah. So yeah, but majority of what he does is from the pocket.
For sure.
Because of that, it allows defenses to really have a point of attack that doesn't move. It's really advantageous to defenses understanding what routes that Matt can throw to because he's always in the pocket.
All angles.
What things, what angles that you can come from, how to blitz Mac, and understand what concepts reverse the field of Mac are going to be way too developing for Mac to even get the ball there because he's not going to break the pocket. You know, another thing about having a quarterback that can have mobility is that plaster, right? We don't have a lot of defenses rarely have their plaster coverage against us because of the fact that we don't have a quarterback that routinely breaks outside of the pocket. And that's something that is an element where defenses have to back off the line of scrimmage. You can't have 7, 8 guys near the box or near the line of scrimmage when you know that there's a possibility for you to break contain, because you got a guy like Brock Purdy that in that short yardage area, he's going to make you pay. So that's one thing that I don't think that a lot of people have really highlighted, could be one of the symptoms as to why the running game was struggling earlier in the year, because quite honestly, defenses are like bad children. They're going to do whatever you let them do. All right. You got to keep them honest. Okay. And if you don't, they'll be as dysfunctional. They won't be sound because they know you have weaknesses. So they'll just go full tilt. All right. And live with the consequences. Right. So one thing that I will say is that having Brock back, ergo through that turf toe injury, if Brock can't move when he comes back, what do you got then?
It's going to be a different Brock. I'm not sure that version of Brock is a better option than Mac. Mm-hmm. I will say this real quick. Rob O put a thing up here. It says Tom Brady couldn't move. We got to stop doing this thing where we take the one out like the anomaly unicorn and trying to bring that into the conversation, because Tom Brady, okay, he couldn't move and neither could Peyton Manning, but they played different defenses 20 years ago. They played a totally different kind of athlete 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So the defenses have evolved. There's a reason that of the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks, every one of them is mobile, because that's the NFL today. So yes, are there outliers like Tom Brady, who is still able to be successful and be an MVP caliber quarterback late in his career in the 2020 era? Sure. But there's one of those guys, and every other guy that's playing well is somebody who can move. That's where the NFL is nowadays. Defenses are just too athletic for somebody that stands there.
Yeah. And that's what we have in Brock Purdy once he gets back. Let's get to our next topic, man. The Kittle effect.
You know I'm all about this. All about Kittle.
We've talked about this. I think we said it in this show that the Niners are getting back one of their best offensive linemen,
100%.
George Kittle. I got some numbers for you, Damon.
I love my numbers.
Let's luxuriate on this. Roll this beautiful bean footage, okay? Let's go run concept breakdown. On run concepts of power, George Kittle was involved on 8 attempts for 60 total yards on an average of 7.5 yards per carry. Outside zone, 8 attempts as well, 40 total yards on 5 yards per carry. Inside zone, 6 attempts, 32 yards on 5.3 yards a carry. Bob, that's body on body blocking for you guys. 2 attempts, 15 total yards, 7.5 yards per carry. Dude, in the red zone, he was unreal.
That's the critical one.
Across all concepts, runs with Kittle on the field average between 5 to 7.5 yards per carry, with power and inside zone again being the most productive. Ooh, it's just so nice from an O-line guy to read that. He is the effect, boy. Yep. I'm telling you, George Kittle came in. They used him on outside zone with Trent. I feel like the entire offensive line was playing at a different tempo with George in. Talk to me. I don't want to take, you know what? I'm going to hop back in, but you go ahead. Tell me what you viewed about George Kittle's performance. And he had 2 targets. Listen, he had a full tear. He tore his hamstring, okay? He tore it. He's not 100%, all right? So if you're looking for George Kittle to be flying down the seam, catching go balls, catching slot fades, or bang eights, all of the stuff that he usually does, Hey, you got the wrong guy at this stage of his career. All right. What he is doing right now in the run game is God sent. Dude, go, Damon, because I'm not going to stop. If you don't start talking, I'm not going to stop.
At the end of the day, the thing that makes Kittle exceptional, he's the best tight end in football. He has been the best tight end in football. And when I see these lists of like, who's the best tight end of all time, and Kittle is never on it, and he should be, because there's only one tight end in the history of the league that's better than Kittle, and that's Gronkowski. And he is mini Gronk. He's just not 6'8", 270 like Gronk was. Kittle is the only tight end that I've seen in recent history not named Gronk to flat back a defensive end. To have a defensive end literally try to make excuses when he gets pancake blocked because he doesn't want to admit that he got pancake blocked by a tight end.
Bro.
The things that... What's up?
No, go ahead. Go.
The things that Kittle does as a pass receiver are actually secondary to what he does in the run game. What he does to open up this offense are things that don't show up on a stat sheet. And the fact that his secondary attribute is literally Hall of Fame caliber is insane to me. His second best attribute is his ability in the pass game, and it's also Hall of Fame caliber.
Son, there's a stat about what we were doing. He wasn't on the field the whole time. He had 30 run blocking snaps. So we ran the ball 39 times. So he wasn't on the field for like literally 9 run snaps. There's an off the field stat that I really wanted to bring up about George Kittle and what he did. And basically saying that the Niners averaged, I think the Niners were averaging like 1.4 yards before contact with George Kittle on the field. And with him off the field, they were averaging negative 2.9 yards per before negative.
It's wild.
Hold on. No, here it is. When Kittle was on the field, they ran the ball 28 times for 152 yards for two touchdowns, averaging 1.4 yards before contact. When Kittle was off the field, they had 6 runs, averaging 2 yards per carry for 6 carries for 12 yards and negative 2.1 yards a carry before contact. I mean, that says it right there, man.
Yards per carry with Kittle off the field this season, 3.1. With Kittle on the field, over 5 yards a carry. Tell me what tight end in the history of National Football League is worth 2 yards per carry in your run game.
Come on, son. Come on. We're averaging damn near 8 yards a carry with him on the field in outside zone, bruh.
Because his ability to move guys out there. I mean, move a motherfucker out of the way on the edge and not just get in the way.
Talk your shit, man. Listen, there's a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, man. But, I mean, we got to be able to give him his flowers. One thing that I want to get into, I'm going to just go ahead and switch this over. But let's get into another topic. Was the run game performance a one-off? So look, we ran the ball 39 times for 174 yards. All right. 2 touchdowns, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. All right. It was balanced, physical, a ground performance built on power and zone principles. Power was the most dominant concept, though. All right. So at 7.1 yards per attempt and both touchdowns, we ran power with zone concepts, both inside and outside zone, which provided rhythm. But we also had counter and man schemes added for versatility to keep Atlanta off balance. One thing that I like about us is the down and distance flow. The first downs were used to establish rhythm with outside zone and inside zone runs where we averaged 4.5 yards a carry. I already been talking about this before this game that we averaged 4 yards a carry on first downs. And we did just that. We averaged 4.5 yards per carry on first down. I think that them being able to mix up power with inside and outside zone running man and gap scheme, dude, like I don't think they ran duo because I was looking for it, but this is how you really stretch a defense that says they know how to stop the run. Stopping the run it's an umbrella that can mean anything. Okay, when you know how to stop the run, that just doesn't mean that you can stop zone. That means you can stop everything. Okay, so when you run a certain run style and it's not working, I don't care how many plays or concepts or tags or packages that you have within that run style. If you got a defense that's keyed in on the rules of inside zone or the rules of outside zone, and that's what they're keyed on, you are really helping them out because what happens is you build confidence, you build muscle memory, guys start tipping. It's hard for you to block stuff because guys start understanding the flow of the defense. They feel blocks, so they understand where to get pressure from. It's harder for your offensive linemen to get blocks where the element of surprise or me being able to have the jump on you is completely taken out of the game because we're running redundant running schemes. You got to mix it up, right? For context, I know that power was a big part of the run game. It was a big topic as well, being brought up during the game. I brought it up. However, but we didn't abandon outside zone. We still ran it. We still ran it. And it worked. And you know what? It worked because we almost put the run game together like a meal. Okay? Nobody just wants meat. Okay? You got to throw some mashed potatoes on that thing, man. Give me some Brussels sprouts. All right, a little bit of horseradish. All right? Mix it in. Put together a meal. You can't be so monochromatic. It can't be all one tone. All right? You got to throw some salt on top of the dessert, all right, to tone down the cloying sugar. Come on, man. Chef Coach out here.
You guys have no idea how many conversations Coach and I have about food. We both love to cook.
Come on, bro. I cooked a mean leg of lamb with a baked sweet potato. Come on, man. Stop playing with me.
All right, back up. We're gonna get so far off topic on this.
But all I'm saying is that
I was about to ask you if you French cut the lamb.
Yeah, we'll get there. But all I'm saying is that the different run styles keep a defense honest. It keeps them off balance. Okay. It allows your offense to be the hammer and not the nail. All right. Also, it helps with stamina. Why am I talking about stamina? Literally, point A to point B, if I walk forward, that is the shortest distance from point A to point B. Outside zone is just too developing for you to get the yield of yards that you're supposed to get, okay? And our offensive line can't run 17 to 18 yards, all right, at a diagonal tilt for us to try to get 4 yards up the field, okay?
Play after play after play.
Play after play after play. I'm talking about big body genetics right now, all right? You got to be a big dog to understand this, all right? That shit is tiring, even when you're in shape, all right? If outside zone ain't working, and on top, thank you, Chris, outside zone is also slow developing.
Yep.
All right? So what happens is that you got your transmission working overdrive while you're going uphill, up a 10-foot hill. It's not, you're working too hard for the yield of yards, like I said. So when it's not working and you got Trent Williams running no less than 12 to 15 yards, all right, to try to get 3 to 5 yards, and then it's getting blown up in the backfield, or we get one down, and then you turn them back around and tell them to run again, and you do it again. Guys are going to slow down. Versus power. You have to run 3 yards to get your 3 yards, okay? You get to be able to double team. We get to beat up on guys together. Now, you still get a lot of double teams in outside zone. We understand the concepts, but being able to do that, and then when you get on outside zone, you get them running. What happens is you see a fresh Trent Williams getting on the outside and outside zone, kicking guys out. You see that where he's fresh. He's got legs, all right? You're almost picking your spots now where you're saying to yourself, all right, in the run game, we know that these guys, we can do good on beating these guys up in power and gap scheme. Let's run this. Get Brian Robinson Jr. in there, who had 9 carries. I love the fact that B-Rob got mixed into this game. All right. And let's start examining exactly how you guys can stop the run. Now, I'll tell you this. We had 39 carries yesterday. If we had 39 carries at outside zone, they'd have blown us up. They'd have blown us up.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had 39. We wouldn't have had that many plays.
Right. And you know what? You know what kills the fact that we didn't, that why we would have never got to 39 is because of the fact that we would have been running one version or one style of run game. And that would have been enough for Kyle to say, well, you know what? Not now. And you know what? And in a sense, I understand where he's coming from. When things aren't working while the bullets are flying, you really don't have time for second chances and examinations. I've been there. I've seen guys that I've coached for calling games where whole pages of the game plan get ripped out while the bullets are flying because it's like, we're going with what works, bro. We're going with what works. All right. We don't have time to work to figure out why this isn't working.
That's right.
We just have time to figure out what works, and then we're going to go with that. Maybe we'll visit it later when things calm down. But for right now, we need to be able to get our best stuff out there. So I'm willing to give Kyle that caveat, that grace. Okay. Particularly because of the fact that I low-key think that this is his best coaching performance as a head coach. Low key. I mean, this is rivaling 2019. That was a fire-ass coaching performance from Kyle. So, look, you got to call a spade a spade. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing that I also wanted to bring up about the run game is Jake Brendle went down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Taking one of my keys. You're taking one of my keys.
Go ahead. Go.
No,
I told you.
You have the stat. I don't have the stat. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. We ran for 157 goddamn yards and 2 touchdowns, and we actually ran power. I told you, I'm not going to stop if you don't cut me off.
Shut up.
I'm not going to stop.
Get the Jake Brendle take off, and I'll jump in.
I'm going to talk about the goddamn run. I can stand here. I can talk about the run game from here until we play the fucking Texans. And I will talk about exactly what we did because this is my type of football. I loved what we did against Atlanta. Now, I understand styles make fights. They're light in the ass. All right, they're not necessarily the biggest defense up front. All right,
they don't have Vita Vea.
Yeah, especially on the interior. So you got to pick your spots. We can't go out there roughshod like all of a sudden we've come alive. However, just a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. Jake Brendle, I have to apologize. I got to warn myself right now. This is accountability time. During the live show, I was absolutely
fired up. Let's just say fired up, Coach.
I was fired up, and I was not too concerned with Jake Brendle's injury. Okay, and it could have came off Bush League, and I want to apologize for that. I really do. It did. It was fucked up. It wasn't right. Okay, just how even if Matt Hennessy is a perceived upgrade, whatever. Jake Brendle has taken us to the Super Bowl as our center.
You shouldn't celebrate the injury. Yeah, first.
I did not celebrate it.
I'm saying not even on accident. Yeah.
Yes, not even on accident. And I went back and saw it. It was bad form. It didn't look good. It was kind of disgusting. And I don't want to come across about any player in that manner. You know what I'm saying? So I went back and I watched. And I'm not saying this because I feel bad. All right. So don't say, oh, Coach bitched up because now he feels bad about what he said about. No, I went back and I watched Jake Brendle. Jake Brendle had 8 pass blocking snaps with 1 pressure, and he had 12 run blocking snaps. Okay. With Brendle, the inside run stayed on schedule. All right. When they were running on the inside run, they were averaging 3.8 yards a carry. All right. When they left on inside zone and inside runs, they were only averaging 2.1 yards a carry with Matt Hennessy. Those are facts. So I know the run game seemed as though, hey, Matt Hennessy did such an amazing job, but just by the numbers, there was a dip. All right. Now, let's talk about pass protection. Okay.
That number is yards where the first contact is, though, right? Not
the first contact.
Yards.
Yes, not total.
I just want to make sure.
Yards before contact. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, yards before contact. Now, I will say this. In the pass protection game, I tweeted this about what I saw with Jake Brendle, and I meant it, man. Basically, what I said was, okay, so hear me out. I just watched the first quarter and a half, give or take, of Jake Brendle against Atlanta. He wasn't bad at all. Outside of what he brings in terms of physicality, I don't think he's as strong as I would like. However, it is what it is. Pass protection was more than good. He sorted out T&E, tackle in and nose tackle games perfectly from the pivot. He played with excellent poise and balance in multiple exchanges and didn't overcommit. He stayed home and picked up the looper inside routinely. Some of the best processing this season from Jake. Got to call a spade a spade. Jake was having a good game before he got hurt. That is true. As far as the pass game is concerned, Jake Brendle was having a very good game. He wasn't having a serviceable game. He wasn't having a decent game. He was having a very good game. They were running a lot of stunts and a lot of games to the inside because they were trying to exploit what we all know is our weak interior offensive line. Jake Brendle was doing very well, serviceable. One thing that I will say is that he is a tad bit more conscientious of a pass protector than Matt Hennessy is. Matt is very eager to get physical. He wants a body. One thing I will say is that Matt has more fight.
He's more aggressive.
He is. He has more fight. One thing I love about his game is that he looks for trash.
Yes.
That's one thing that really frustrates me about Jake Brendle's game. He's 3 seconds, and that's it, man. He's the minute man, baby. Like,
there are way too many there's way too many times on tape where he misses a block, and what you see at the end of the play is not him looking for another guy, because there's plenty of times where you just go get another guy. I missed my block. Okay, climb and go find somebody to block. Instead, what you see is him looking down at the guy that he's supposed to be blocking, tackling the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Every single game, multiple times.
I feel like Jake Brendle almost kind of like, I don't know, man. He's out there doing like, you know, the drunken kung fu master shit, bro. Like, I don't know what he's doing sometimes, man. But I will say that he's more oftentimes where he needs to be. He's very rarely wrong. Okay. So he's always where he needs to be. But I'll tell you, he gives up on guys. He's not necessarily physical. And one thing that I will take from Matt Hennessy that I saw in spades is that, number one, he's thrilled to be on the field.
Yes.
All right. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
Absolutely.
You need a guy to be able to pick up the trash. You need a guy to be able to drag defenders, move a pile, block his guy, even if it's the wrong guy, pick up another guy. I saw that multiple times with Matt Hennessy. He wasn't always right in the run, but he was finding guys to put a hat on. I've said this multiple times. I don't care if you fuck up, as long as you fuck up what?
Fast.
Okay? That's one of my guys. If you've been coached by Coach Ike, you know that's one of my mantras. All right? The last thing I want you to do is be wrong and lazy. We
gotta get your ass off the field real fast.
Pick a struggle, bruh. Pick a struggle. All right. You can't be wrong and half-assing it. So I love his game. One thing about it is that we got to see him play a little bit more to be able to understand where that consistency can come from, because let's just be real. He struggled in the preseason. Matt Hennessy struggled in the preseason. That's facts. Okay. So I don't want to sit here and, it's almost kind of like we got to take the Mac Jones and Brock Purdy debate and take it to the trenches now. And to sit here with Matt Hennessy and say, hey, understand a backup is a backup, right? There's gonna be some guys.
There's actually some relevance to that. With one being a little stronger, right? One's got a little stronger arm. One's got maybe a little bit better processing, always in the right place. But the other one processes okay too. Like there's actually a lot of correlation and carryover to that conversation.
Yeah, it really is.
What we do about Brendle there though this year though, he actually has been really good in pass protection all year. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really had any just terrible games in pass. I understand that there's been a game or two where the numbers don't look great or whatever. But if you go back and actually watch the play, those 5 times where there's a pressure or sack, something like that, those are literally the only 5 bad plays of the whole game.
Yeah.
So it's not like he played a terrible game and did all the he's actually it's the run game where he's been a real issue most of the season.
Right. So for this game, he averaged 60.2. 75. He averaged 75.0 in a pass blocking grade and true pass set from PFF. But if you look at what he did last week, let's just see where Jake Brendle was last week. Yeah, 78% off of PFF for pass blocking for true pass set. So One thing about him is that true pass set, meaning basically he's literally where he's supposed to be. He's always going to be there. Now, what he's going to bring to the potluck is a whole different ball game. But I'm on Hen Dog right now. I'm rocking with Hennessy. I like it. And
we're going to have to rock with him either way because Brendle's going to be out a while.
I think they said he's going to be out at least 2 weeks. Is that the way you read that as well?
Yeah, but they're considering putting him on IR. We'll find out tomorrow.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the directional breakdown of the run game. All right. So something else that we need to also look at is that you would think that there was a lot going on the left side of the left side of the ball where Trent Williams was. There was a lot of games that they were playing in tandem with George Kittle and Trent Williams doing amazing work on the outside. But if you look at the game, the way it broke down, we had 16 attempts to the left for 83 yards for 5.2 yards per carry. For the right, we had 18 attempts for 80 yards at 4.4 yards per carry. And in the middle, there were 5 attempts for 11 yards for 2.2 yards per carry. So one thing that I also want to bring up the fact is that we were balanced in this game as well. That's something else that needs to be able to carry out as far as what we're doing in the run game. I love the fact that we broke through with success this way, right? If we would have broke through with the old way we run the ball, just statically running outside zone, this would have been an easy button to say, oh, well, the run game's back just because of George. That's why it's back, right? And I love the fact that, yes, George was a huge contributor to the fact that that's why we had success. However, I do believe that the lead is not the fact that we had George back, but the lead is the fact that we broke away from outside zone. Like we actually implemented other running styles. What would you say what was your biggest takeaway from what we did on the ground on Sunday?
I actually think that what we saw as far as the balance in our run game is the secondary factor. I think the primary factor is Kyle Shanahan came into this game saying we're going to run the ball 40 times. Mm-hmm. And so there was a pregame commitment. There was a commitment all week long to all the different ways we're going to run the ball because I don't care how, we're going to run it 40 times. That's how we win this game. Mm-hmm. So that mindset going into the game, already planning on calling a bunch of variations and things like that because you're going to commit to running the ball one way or the other. So I guarantee you he's spending extra time that week on dialing in his play sheet on these different runs that they maybe haven't called as often, and
Mm-hmm.
which ones have been effective, and looking over some of the analytics and looking at the tape of which ones have been the best. I think that there's essentially 4 factors to why we ran the ball so well this last game that were different from previous games. 1, George Kittle was back. 2, Matt Hennessy is just more aggressive and more physical in the run game, and that helps. 3, there was actual balance to the way we were running the ball. But the most important factor is the fact that we went in there all week long knowing that that's how we were going to operate the offense. And when Kyle Shanahan we know how stubborn he is. And we know that when he decides, like, this is how we're going to do it, there's nothing that's going to change his mind. So it can be a benefit sometimes. And this is one of those situations where Kyle's mindset and how he operates was actually a huge benefit to the 49ers. Because if he commits himself to one singular thing, he knows how to get it done. That is what his genius is understanding everything so intricately that when he is totally focused on getting that one thing done, he'll get it done.
You want to know something else?
I do.
Let's talk about the down and distance flow.
Okay.
Second down is also another down where we attacked. For second down, we averaged 8 yards per attempt running power. And the man blocking scheme gap, we averaged 13 yards per carry. Like this, like you got, like, these numbers let you know that not only was this working, but teams are not used to us running this stuff.
That's right. It hasn't been on film.
They're not used to this. Exactly.
Right.
They don't, there's not a full game of being able to watch the Niners run power. Not recently, anyway. I think that it helped. Also, you know who else that nobody's talking about who had a really good game in the run game? Just the run game. He still struggled. Dominic Purdy, man. Dominic Purdy running power is a different guard.
Yep.
He is a completely different guard. Watching him being able to just unleash and take a 6-inch step and power drive and gallop step somebody out of the hole, letting him just be a bully without taking him side to side. My God. And he's got a PCL injury.
Yeah.
Power runs.
It looked like he got his legs under him a little bit more this game. Almost like that thing is finally starting to heal a little.
Son, I'm telling you.
I hope that's the case.
I'm telling you, like, for power runs, with Dominic Purdy on power runs, they were averaging 7.1 yards per attempt. All right. Man blocking schemes were averaging 7.5 yards per carry. They only called man twice, but they on body on body. But this is being able to say, and nobody's going to say this to Kyle because Kyle is, I'm going to be honest, which I always am, but this is just a more salient point that I'm trying to make. We are 10,000 light years away from the organization. You got to be able to say it's easy to throw stones at the sun when you know you can't reach it. Let's just be factual. All right. When you're working in the aura of the man, of Kyle, all right, of Kyle Shanahan, you're working with a guy who is a part of football history. He's not only your boss, but he's got a fucking resume. Okay. Yep. And gotta be honest, chill out, Julie. And you gotta be honest. It's hard for people to say to Kyle, which is a guy who casts a big shadow, yo, the style of run game that you're running right now ain't it, even though you guys created it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you guys like birthed it into the league, they didn't create it, but you guys birthed it into the league.
They made it popular.
Yeah. Like, it's hard. And I don't know who got a hold of Kyle and let him know, like, bro, we can't.
The defenses are onto this shit, bro.
Yeah, like
the defenses are onto this.
We can't die on the vine. On top of the fact that you're going against, I also believe that a lot of this, honestly, was Kyle understanding I'm going against Raheem. Not only does he know my scheme, we've been on the staff together. Raheem Morris was actually an offensive coach on Kyle's staff in Atlanta. Yep. Okay. So they know each other very well. And I think don't they have an OC that came from the Rams?
That's correct.
So,
under Sean McVay.
Yeah. So,
and their defensive coordinator is Ulbricht, who was under Saleh last year with the Jets.
100%. So there is a little bit of this with Kyle saying, hey, we're going to be where you're not. You guys are looking for outside zone. We understand what your rules are. We know what you guys are keyed on, what you got. But how about this power, though? Also,
Sun Tzu, baby.
Dog, also, Kyle switching up run schemes in a fucking week. How cold is that? Bro, I told you. That is
what Kyle Shanahan brings to a team. For all the things that we gripe about from time to time, there are things that this man does that there are coaches in the league that can't.
Mm-hmm.
Are there 2 or 3 other guys in the league that can do what Shanahan did this week with his game plan? Sure. But there's only about 2 or 3.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
He's having a great year coaching.
He's having a really good year. I got to be honest. I get frustrated during games with some of the decisions that he makes, but he's done a very good job. There's nobody in the league really coaching better than what Kyle is putting out right now. No. So, listen.
He should be running away with Coach of the Year, but for whatever reason, I don't even think he's the number 1 in Vegas odds. Last time I looked, last week, he was 3rd in Vegas odds for Coach of the Year. Behind Shane Steichen and Vrabel.
Really?
Yeah.
So, look, I mean, do you want to keep talking about I told you. We got to touch it. I would actually really like to touch. I'd like to know what you think the 49ers are doing well this year, and what are the things. We're 7 weeks in right now. Right.
So, we kind of have an idea what this team is. Mm-hmm, There's not a whole lot of things that are still hiding from us. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know, what are the things you think we're doing well? Is there anything that we're actually elite at this year that might show us a sign, something that we can lean on in the playoffs against another good team?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you this right now. Sometimes getting in the race is all you need.
Yes.
Okay?
This is one of those seasons. Totally agree.
The fucking season's up for grabs, baby.
This has 2007 Giants written all over it.
If you are sitting here saying that there's a favorite right now in the NFC, you're lying to yourself. It's up. It's up for grabs, dude. Yep. It really is. And in the AFC a little bit too, as well.
All of a sudden Kansas City's back to being the best team in football. That sucks.
That shit's weird. Yeah, exactly. So whatever. So but I will say that it's crazy. Anything can happen with what we got going on right now. Now, I will tell you this. We're a tough out. Nobody wants to play us. I want us to own this identity. We need to be the fucking boogeyman. We need to be the team that nobody wants to play. We play 60 minutes. All right.
That's it. We're like 60-minute fucking football team.
Dog, we're like fucking Jason, dog. You can't kill us. Okay? I'm telling you, bro.
Exactly that is the identity of this team this year. It's fucking Jason and Michael Myers, bro.
They won't die. I'm telling you.
You burn them. Hockey mask next week.
You burn them, and then they just start crawling out of the fucking. They start crawling out of the fire and brimstone.
And it is what it is. Buddy right next to you.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If we're really just gonna be serious now, the biggest weapon that they have this year is that they know their team. They know their team. What does that mean? Almost every facet of the depth has been tested this season.
Yep.
Okay. We have a lot of guys who have gotten tons of time on task. They've played in tons of great scenarios and shown up. And as the season progresses, that stuff is going to be paying off in dividends. We know our team. All right. Kevin Givens is coming back. We're getting Kalia Davis back. Okay. Like guys are going to start filtering in. I'm going to tell you this right now. George is going to get better. All right. We got to see what we're going to do with these rookies and Jordan James and Jordan Watkins getting on the field. All right. Upton Stout needs to get back on the field. We got to see what we're going to do with Ronaldo Green. Don't look now, but Darrell Luter Jr. had a halfway decent game. Chase Lucas.
Can that guy finally get some reps? Can Luter please get some reps? The dude is a 6'3", long, lengthy corner with speed who will flat out hit somebody off on the edge.
Bro,
can that man please get some reps?
I'm telling you, man, I really think that we know how to drive our car. You don't want to race a dude who knows his car.
Yeah.
All right. You don't want to race that guy. All right. Yeah. You may have the turbo, you may have the Whipple, you may have all of this stuff under the hood, but if all you're doing is smashing the gas pedal and you don't know how to drive it, you're going to find yourself wrapped around a tree.
Yeah.
Okay. So this season is all about the best drivers of their team because nobody can just straight line to the finish line. There's nobody that's a super juggernaut team that's just going to overpower you with talent. They don't have to be sound. They could just blow you away with great offense, great defense, and then that's just the winner. No, this year, everybody has holes. All right? This year, everybody has weaknesses. Starting to see that. Like teams that we thought we didn't have to worry about are emerging. The Colts are for real. They're going to embarrass somebody in the AFC. I'm telling you. Yes. One of those big teams that are sleeping, the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Colts are not to be quarreled with. Okay?
That offense is frightening.
Yeah.
Frightening.
I think that is the identity of this team. We know our team. Being able to run power, man, gap, inside, outside zone, duo, have success with it, understand what we can do. That's another weapon. Now, also, I would love to see an uptick in other carries outside of Christian because Christian is charting for damn near 500 fucking touches this year, bro. He's up to he's charting for 450 touches this year.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about the elite trait of our team. We're a 60-minute ball club. I think we don't have the anxiety of, oh my God, people are watching us. We need to win our way. I really feel like we've gotten rid of that. Last year,
we also don't have the scars of just losing a Super Bowl and just, losing 3 out of 4, all the success that leaves a scar too.
Yeah. Last year, man, I felt like there was a block in process, a stubbornness. Like, we're the Niners and we're going to win looking like the Niners. This year, I think they're saying we're here to defend the name of the Niners because y'all are playing with us. We're willing to do anything. All right. On top of the fact that I don't know, I don't have words for this guy, but Robert Saleh, man, who are you? You lose Nick Bosa. You lose Fred Warner. You come in here with bad safety play. You get Tatum Bethune ready to go. Chase Lucas comes in with all of the keys.
Dog.
Come on, man. How do we let Robert Saleh leave the building?
He's going to leave again.
That's a topic. What we've been doing on defense has been remarkable given the circumstances. All
Agreed.
Right. The disguises, the multiple the simulated pressures. These are things, oh my God, in certain ways. Okay. So I look at what we do defensively versus teams that have our offense, right? So like the Falcons, the Vikings, the Packers, the Rams, the Seahawks, right? And I always like to see what our team does against those teams because it kind of gives you an idea of what our defense holds back on in practice, right? Like it's almost kind of like if we could go full tilt against you guys, this is what we would really do. You know what I'm saying? And I watched the game plan that Robert Saleh put against the Falcons, and there was something that came across my mind during the game where I was saying, because I said this during the whole live watch show, which you guys need to tune into.
Yes,
and if
you do.
Don't, you're tripping.
It's fantastic.
I said this. I said, dude, we're faster than Atlanta. We're faster than them. We're playing faster than them. We're beating them to the punch. They're slow. And it came across my mind that our defense was playing at a clip where if our defense was playing our offense, I don't think we'd have won that game.
I agree entirely.
Yeah. If our defense did to our offense what they did to the Falcons on Sunday night, I don't think we win that game. Like that, like they were that dialed in to the simulated pressures. The offensive line was completely confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would bring 5 sometimes, and it still looked like they were bringing 8.
Yeah, man. It was an awesome time.
Give me, before we go, because I know we're going to probably go soon, give me one thing that is way better than you anticipated it being this year, and give me one thing that is nowhere near as good as you thought it would be this year. And then I'll do the same thing. Or if you want, I'll go first, and then you.
So
and then
give me. So say that again. Give me. I think you said the same thing twice. Give me
one thing. One thing that has been surprisingly good. It's much better than you anticipated, and one thing that is nowhere near as good as you thought it would be. One good, one bad. And if you want, I'll go first so you can think on it for a second.
No.
I also don't want you to steal my best ones.
Our ability to
go. I'm just kidding. Go.
Our ability to stop the run has surprised me. The way the rookies have played, how we've rallied, how the defense has been playing for Coach Saleh, everything that we just talked about, the concepts, the disguised looks, just the energy, the culture of the defense. I knew that it was going to be good. I didn't expect it to catch this early.
Right away.
And particularly the growth and development of Alfred Collins. I did not like the pick. I gotta be honest.
I know.
And I kind of was feeling vindicated after week 1 because he struggled. He did, man.
Yeah.
And but he's done so well. I was wrong. He's in shape. He plays hard. He's got a motor. Now, does that mean that Alfred Collins is just, nothing to be worried about? He's arrived? No, not even close. He's got a long way to go. However, the concerns that I had about him, how I felt about him, right, as a player, was completely wrong. It's been a 180, especially off of that one game. So there, yes, and also, yeah. This did surprise me as well. I thought that CJ West was going to be more of a plug-and-play player than Alfred Collins. I did. And that didn't turn out to be something that was true. So, yeah, that's something that I didn't think was going to be good. I thought it was going to be a problem coming into the season. And it's been good. Alfred Collins, all of it. Now, what I thought we were going to be able to do that has been just bad is let me see. Steve-O's a dick. I'm surprised how good these reaches are doing, Coach.
That's fantastic. You're not wrong, Steve-O.
Basically. What I thought was going to be good, and I was surprised at, was I thought that the offense was going to be able to find much more traction earlier in the season than they did. We're only still averaging 19 points a game, which is anemic. And us being completely sold out to the pass game is something that it's disappointed me. That's one of the biggest reasons. Now, I get it. You do what you have to do to win, period. Right. However, I just feel as though the Atlanta game and how we got to the run touched on so many points on why I was frustrated that we weren't running the ball well. I felt like we were trying to brute force a process and just walk through one door that was locked and like, oh, well, let's pick it. Oh, let's ram it down. Let's let's burn it down. Let's, and it's just like, dude, there's like 5 other doors that you can walk through. You don't have to walk through this door. I just felt like it was a little stubborn. It's very rare that you see change on this team mid-season, not change this, grandiose. I will say that them being able to get to the run the way they did against Atlanta proved that, hey, you can do it. It's an investment. You got to diversify it sometimes. It doesn't always come
totally
out
right.
one way, right? So that was my biggest thing. I just was very frustrated at, the numbers of we're a professional football team. There's no way we should be over a month into the season without a rushing touchdown. Like, come on. You're not trying.
You're Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams on your team.
You're not trying. And I get it.
Inexcusable.
Yeah, thank you. And I said the wrong word. I don't want to say not trying, because I'm sure that there was tons of work,
effort,
and effort to make sure, like, all right, well, what can we do with what we run, right? And I get that, but sometimes the biggest anvil off your back is your ego. You gotta just sometimes put that shit down for a second to be able to breathe. So yeah, that was my second thing: the lack of run game. It really frustrated me.
So the thing that I'm most shocked with offensively this year, or our team in general this year, is the passing game. The evolution, not just that we're throwing the ball so often, but the evolution of the drop back passing game, actually throwing the ball outside the numbers regularly. In this last game, Mac Jones had 6 passes to the outside of the hashes on the left side of the field, and he had 7 passes to the outside on the right. A very balanced, using the entire field style of passing attack that we have not seen Kyle do a lot of. One of the things that used to always kind of strike me is when I would watch some of these film breakdowns from like your Chase Daniels of the world, or your who's the other guy, JT O'Sullivan, right? They would every single time they would do a film breakdown. It seemed like every game there would be at least one play in there where they'd say something along the lines of, I don't know what the hell this passing concept is. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. It'd be something like that every single video. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the passing game this year has been so much more diversified. It's not just nothing but asking your quarterback to throw layered balls over the middle, which it seems like that's kind of all they were doing before. And now maybe some of that is Purdy's limitations. Maybe there's something to that. However, the dynamic passing route concepts that they're running this year that they did not run before has really surprised me. And I did not think the 49ers could win games throwing the ball 40 times every game. I did not think that was a recipe for success for them at all. So that really surprised me how good they've been at winning games by throwing. On the other side of the ball, there's something that's very concerning because it's now become consistent. It propped up during the Tampa Bay game and became glaring because Fred got hurt and was out of the game. And everybody started asking about the back-end communication. Oh, man, Fred's not out there. That's been going on all year. The communication in our secondary this year has been awful.
Yeah, our secondary is bad, man.
And it's not Fred's fault because it happened when Fred was on the field and when Fred was off the field. It's not that. It's not play call. I think this is something that actually falls on Robert Saleh. This is a coaching thing that they need to fix. I'm not saying he's not doing a good job of coaching or anything like that. What I'm saying is it's on Robert Saleh to get that communication fixed. I know you have young guys back there. I know you've had a lot of in and out. And so there's probably a lot of reasons why the communication has been so faulty all season long. But I don't care what the reasons are. It needs to get fixed.
I'm not a DB coach. Like, DB is one of those, I know angles. I know how to pancake them. I know how to, you know what I mean? Like, I know how to coach.
You know how to move a man against his will from point A to point B.
I know how to tell a guy how not to get cut by one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit up here and talk like I'm Coach Prime. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to talk like Coach Prime should do it. I'm not going to do that. But what I am,
Coach Prime at all.
I do a great Coach Prime. I do a great coach. Don't get me doing my impersonations, bro. You must be new to the Coaches Huddle. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very new. Yeah, I just joined recently.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that what my mama
Coach
used
Prime,
to say,
defensive backs,
yeah. Hey, look, all I'm saying is that my mama used to say you can't get blood from a turnip.
Yeah.
You can't squeeze water from a rock. All right. 0 + 0 = 0. God damn it. All right. You don't have the bodies there. You're doing the best you can with what you got. Okay. What did Smokey's mama say? Mama, we ain't got enough. Make it enough.
That's right.
Okay. Make it enough. All right. So that's what's happening with us at the secondary position, right? Especially at safety. They're doing the best they can. I for one hand, love the fact that Robert Saleh he's taking the best and leaving the rest. He understands that his best safety that he has right now, for lack of intensive purposes in the pass protection, is Jason Pinnock. He's going to try to at least keep the roof on the house. Now, I'll tell you this: Malik Mustafa being back is huge. The diversity of in which Jair Brown gets to take a break and go to free, doesn't have to play strong. He gets to play dime linebacker. That stuff can help us. I would almost venture to say that probably further down the line during the season, you may see Malik Mustafa move to dime linebacker with Jair Brown on the field. So one thing that I will tell you is that I think that Robert Saleh is really good at understanding his pieces, right? Understanding the strengths of what he has. And when you understand your players, you can be able to put them in the best positions to win. All right. And that's what I see on our defense. I don't see this all-world defense doing no, they play like they know what they are. Everybody's flying to the ball. Everybody is playing to the tilt because they understand that they can't afford not to. So I love what's happening on defense, but a weakness is a weakness, but it's through no fault of their own. They just don't have the guys. They're not there.
The thing about Malik Mustafa, I did a piece on this in a video about a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So last season, 2024, Malik Mustafa, how many pass reps or like pass coverage reps do you think he had?
I don't know.
He had over 400. I didn't think it was that high. I didn't realize he was on the field as much as he was, playing as many snaps as he was.
Malik Mustafa played early.
He played way more than I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
How many in over 400 covered snaps and I think it's over 50. No, it's like 4. I'm trying to get up now. Like 40 targets. How many catches do you think he gave up? 17 for like 60 yards. Through the halfway point of the season, this man had given up like 6 catches for 18 yards on like 250 targets. Mm-hmm. He's our best pass coverage player in the secondary. He was a top 5 defensive back against the pass last season in the entire NFL, including cornerbacks, statistically speaking. Now, if you go back and watch the film, there's some things here, some things there. I'm not trying to claim he's a top 5 defensive back in the NFL. I'm saying that he is far and away. He is actually better against the pass than he is in run support. He just, for whatever reason, it gets totally overlooked.
That's a great point.
I cannot wait for him to be utilized in deep safety coverage. I think he's actually going to turn the ball over.
Awesome. Hey, but I wanted to answer this question as well. Frisco asks, what do you mean by all-world defense names and talent? I think he was alluding to me talking about our defense that's saying is that we're not playing like an all-world defense. We know what we are. What I mean by that is we don't dictate We understand the plot. We have self-awareness. When we had our defenses in 2023 and 2019, when those defenses were quote unquote all world, all right, the 2023 defense, all right, we played vanilla. You know why? Because we could afford to. We had players at every position, all right? We were not being dictated to, we were dictating to offenses, all right? Because of the fact that we had so many dogs that we didn't have to disguise. We didn't have to play simulated pressure. We played just straight vanilla 3-man shell, wide 9, because we had Nick Bosa and Charles Omenihu on the outside. We had Eric Armstead, and we had, at the time, DeForest Buckner. And we didn't have a tight end eraser like Jimmy Ward, okay? Like, that wasn't a luxury then, all right? So all I'm saying is that we've had times where we've been able to take one single player and literally erase a weapon from the defense. Jimmy Ward still is probably one of the most underrated Niners of all time. In my opinion.
Mine as well.
And that's what I mean, though, as far as we know who we are. We're not playing like an all-world defense. We're playing the game. We're being the Minutemen. We're not the Redcoats. All right. We're grabbing you by the belt buckle, pulling you close and fighting you in the phone booth. We're pulling you in the woods, all right, because we understand that, hey, playing straight up, going gun line to gun line, heavy cavalry, we don't have enough men for that shit, all right? So we got to put together sticks and stones, slingshots, catch you at night while you're sleeping, rob your rations. We got to be on some real Robin Hood shit on defense, and that's what I mean. What do you got for me, man?
I'm trying to find the exact numbers, and I can't find it. So
it's cool. We got a super chat. Let's get this out the way. Too Much Sauce asks, thank you also for the super chat. Do you think Pinero will stick around long term? I hope so. That's the way you're supposed to get kickers, right? You get them, Robbie, they do well.
No, we just got him at 30 instead of at 39.
Come on, man. So I'm not mad at it. Hey, look, what do you got coming up for the rest of the week, brother?
So I've got my Niners by the numbers coming out this week. I still haven't gotten that cap pod out. I'm thinking about maybe putting that in my back pocket for the offseason. But yeah, just continuing to hit it as often as possible throughout the week.
Hey, man, tomorrow I got the Faithful Review with my guy, Tom Jensen, and also our Patreon show with the 4-man front. Dog, this one was a good one. I told you if you didn't stop me, I was going to talk about the run game the entire show. I'm sorry that we didn't get to most of our topics.
No worries. Right?
I love you, man. Hey, but this is the coach signing off with my boy ChunderBoi. Stay low and keep your